You know, most people don't know this. They're looking at Medina as an international organization, but we started in the basement of a friend's house in Baltimore. And we were a group of families that had known each other, and we're all going to the masjid. And we wanted to find more meaning in our spiritual life. So we started to come together for the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we'd bring the kids and we'd bring our wives and everyone together. And we would read from the Qur'an. We sent prayers upon the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi. And Allah made that grow into something else. He made it grow into us realizing that we needed to learn more about our religion. We need to feed the heart and we need to feed the mind. We never put together programming because we thought someone would enjoy it. We put together programming that we ourselves needed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it organically grow the way that He did. Al-Madina Institute is very similar to the growth of a human being. It's organic. It changes as you go along. So if I'm a single person, there's maybe specific information that I need. But then when I have a wife, there's more information. When I have kids, there's more needs. It keeps growing. And so Al-Madina Institute was growing in a similar fashion. Mu'tasim, seeking knowledge, I needed something very specific. But then as a married man, my wife and I now needed to get more and more specific information. And then with my kids, we now needed to take care of the spiritual needs of a family. And so what we were doing with Al-Madina Institute, as that growth was happening, we were ensuring that all the programs we were putting forth were all family-oriented programs, because for us, it's key that the whole family has a spiritual trajectory together, not just one person learning and leaving the rest out. So that way, the whole family unit is being spoken to in regards to spiritual principles that each one of us is digesting at their own level, and it's causing this spiritual resonance inside the homes. And it was the most beautiful thing that was happening in our lives. Connecting with Sheikh Mukhtar Maghrawi, I knew that I connected with a very, very special human being. And I wanted to have some of what he has. And I knew to be able to get it, I needed to sacrifice something. And so the idea was to move overseas where I can continue studying the Arabic language, and my wife can do that, and my children, and study the Qur'an, and have suhba. And so when we did that, I honestly thought that maybe one or two families were going to move to Istanbul to be part of this journey. We found that over 100 people decided to join us the first year. So we established a program in which you were learning the Islamic spiritual sciences from Sheikh Mukhtar, you were learning Seerah, you were learning Qur'an, you were learning Usul al-Fiqh, how to think and how to make rational decisions based on spiritual and Islamic principles. And we were learning the Arabic language. And we were studying as families together. My wife was in the program. My sister was in the program. I was in the program. My kids were in the program. My kids had their own Arabic teachers. It was something so beautiful. And as the program grew and more families came, the following year we went up to 200. And those families came with teenagers. So we said, what do we do? And we said, well, you know, we established a program for adults. We established a program for kids. Let's establish a program for teens. So that way, the whole family unit is being spoken to in regards to spiritual principles that each one of us is digesting at their own level, and it's causing this spiritual resonance inside the homes. And it was the most beautiful thing that was happening in our lives. In the middle of all that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tests the whole world with the coronavirus. And you know, I know it's difficult. I know it's challenging, but you know, in attempts to be a spiritual community, our motto was, you know, the messenger of God, peace be upon him, he said that amazing is the state of a believer. All of it is good. So we made that the filter that we saw the world. It wasn't easy. It was not easy. And so we started to move our programs online. So the Al-Madina Institute online programs, they're actually born from years of experience. It's not something that we just decided yesterday we're just going to do. No. We've been testing the on-the-ground programs for 3 years for our Arabic for adults, Arabic for children, and also our Islamic sciences for teens, preteens, and kids aged 9 to 6. They're being tested here at the Suhba program in Istanbul, and we found that as families of Al-Madina and those participants that came here to Istanbul, we took so much benefit from them. And what we had happening is that families that came to be with us for 1 year and went back to their respective countries, they were all asking us, can we continue this programming online somehow? Well, now we can. And it's not just for those that come to Istanbul, it's for the whole world. And what we're concentrating on this summer is it's a really interesting experience, subhanAllah. We opened Arabic online, and we opened Arabic online for kids, and within 1 week, the program's filled up. We didn't know what to expect, but we saw how much interest was out there. And so the programs are still open. There's a waiting list. So what I would suggest, if you're interested, put your kids on that waiting list. Put yourselves on the Arabic program. They're live classes. For the kids, it's going to happen twice a day, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. For the adults, it's actually 3 hours a day of studies, 5 days a week, live with the same teachers that we're using here in Istanbul. Our summer programming, this was another interesting one. We didn't even officially open up registration for this. We just send out a link on WhatsApp for summer family programming for teens, preteens, and children by the teachers that are teaching our kids here in the Suhba. And within 2 days, we had over 350 families, over 600 individuals sign up for the program. So, sign up, get on the waiting lists. We're going to try to do whatever that we can to accommodate everyone. We're going to ensure that Al-Madina Institute speaks to the community. Let's be a community together. And in doing so, I know this is a tough time. I know we're going through challenges. The Messenger of God, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala, our beloved Prophet, he said the Muslim community is like one body. We're together like this. He said if one part of it is hurting, the rest of it is hurting. And so we all feel our collective pain. Now, Al-Madina Institute, to continue to provide these services, we need your help. There's no other ways I can say it. We need your help. We need you to be part of this community. In these last few days of Ramadan, we're trying to raise $50,000 to galvanize our programming and to galvanize our online learning so we can all be that community in hearts in resonance under that canopy of the green dome of the Messenger of God, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi, all traversing to Allah. Be with us. Please help us on this journey.